When people hear South Miami, they usually think one word: suburb. They think quiet, they think safe, and they might even think boring. And that assumption is exactly why so many people completely underestimate this neighborhood. But if you actually live here, like I do, you know that couldn't be further from the truth. The truth is, South Miami is one of the most functional, quietly powerful neighborhoods in all of Miami, and most people don't realize it until after they move here. In the last two videos, we talked about the heavy stuff. The wave of new construction in South Miami, the massive redevelopment at Sunset Place, the skyline shifts, and I'm gonna leave the links down here so that you can watch those in case you missed it. But today, we're stepping out of zoning meetings and into the real life, the fun stuff. Because you don't move somewhere for renderings, you move somewhere for your Tuesday mornings, your Saturday routines, and the places that quietly become part of your story. And by the end of this video, you're going to understand why certain streets here consistently hold value and why some people move here once and never leave. So instead of giving you a list, let me walk you through a typical Saturday in South Miami. And it starts super early. South Miami is not flashy, it's disciplined. At 6 a.m., parking lots are already filling up. And before the gym, a lot of people are already moving. You'll see strollers, serious runners, neighbors walking dogs, all before most of Miami hits the snooze button. That's your first clue that this isn't a party neighborhood, it's a productive one. For me, that's Stunna's Fit. I've been working out there for over 10 years. What I love about it is that it's not just a workout, it's the consistency. It feels like accountability, but it also feels like a community. And that's something that you can't manufacture. It develops over time. When buyers ask me why certain streets trade at a premium, this is part of the reason. Routine matters, proximity to routine matters even more. You're not just buying square footage, you're buying access to your daily life. The easier your life feels, the longer you can stay. After the workout, nobody rushes home. That's not how this neighborhood works. You grab coffee, and if you want to really understand South Miami, you go to Casa Cuba. Outdoor tables, the little cafecito window, police officers grabbing their coffee, doctors stopping in before their rounds. Casa Cuba will forever be a staple in South Miami. And that's the difference between a trendy spot and a cornerstone. Trendy rotates, cornerstone anchors. We also now have a fresh market in South Miami, and it's already packed. There's something different about having it steps from home. That's my ideal lifestyle. And this is not marketing, that's word of mouth, and it's powerful. That's the theme of this area, understated quality. In South Miami, you run into people you know everywhere, and that may sound small until you realize how rare that is in Miami. That is when a neighborhood becomes a community. That sense of familiarity is subtle, but it's powerful, and it's one of the biggest reasons people stay. Now let's talk about Sunset Drive. Yes, Sunset Place is going under construction, but Sunset Drive itself still carries lots of energy. This is where errands turn into social hour. You grab dessert at Whip and Dip, which by the way, it's not optional if you grew up here. But my real hidden gem, Walls Ice Cream. If you grew up here, you know that the original location was super special. South Miami doesn't scream for your attention, it earns it slowly. And that slow burn is exactly why it lasts. If you're looking for the velvet ropes and the rooftop DJs, this is not your neighborhood. But if your idea of a good Saturday is ice cream with your kids, wine at the Grape Ape, and being home before midnight, you're gonna love it here. When it's time for dinner, South Miami follows one rule: comfort over hype. These restaurants survive because locals come back, not because tourists are passing through. That consistently is what protects property values here. When a neighborhood has stable, community-supported businesses, it signals long-term health. You also have the South Miami Dog Park. It's everyday life happening in real time. And once a year, Sunset Drive completely transforms during the South Miami Rotary Arts Festival. For 2 days, the entire neighborhood feels like a walkable art show. And then there's Dateland. I know it's a mall, but for South Miami, it's super functional. This pocket allows locals to live in a neighborhood that feels calm while staying connected to the rest of the city. You're tucked in but never disconnected. That balance of access without chaos is the defining feature of this pocket. So here is the bottom line. You don't move to South Miami for the flash. You move here for the rhythm. You move here because your mornings feel efficient, your afternoons feel super social, your evenings feel grounded. And when a neighborhood makes your life easier instead of louder, that's when it becomes home. If you're trying to figure out which streets would give you the walkability, which pockets would give you the privacy, and which ones balance both, that is exactly what I help my clients map out. In the next and final video of this series, we're getting practical. If this video helped you see South Miami differently, make sure you subscribe. And if you're even thinking about making a move, reach out. The earlier we map your routine, the better the outcome. I'm Rebeca Cruz with RealMiami, and you're one step closer to living like a local. Why certain streets here from 6 a.m. From 6 a.m. Ready?